Hi.
Good morning, rainy morning. We're going to have a champagne tour. We're here in Reims, spelled as Reims.
It will be a fun day even if the weather's not cooperating.
It's wet day. Join us.
Join us.
Our first stop.
Louis Boucher. Thank you. And Boucher.
Alright, so they manage some works right here. So it will be a little bit noisy, unfortunately.
Oh,
And a lot of work to do. Alright, and then we'll go that way.
oh, this way.
Ooh.
Nice.
So we will be back just here, but I will just explain you the pricing first.
Okay.
So we'll go that way to the first side.
Press it. Maybe back here later. Oh, there's pressing. Nice.
So what happened is Dom
press.
Perignon, when he was working on the champagne making
the
process,
modern
what he
press.
wanted is to be able to extract white juice even out of the black skin varieties. And so in fact he had changed the design of the press machine that we were using back in time to be able to have white juice even out of the kilos of grapes. And you will always separate the plot, the villages and the varieties. So like that, in fact, you do not blend before, you blend later on in the stages. So to keep everything separate, in fact, will offer you to have more samples for your future blends as well. And after, you will just press the green button, and after your fraction will be managed by the machine, and just like the turner will be managed by the gravity. Just like exceptional about it, the only thing that is regulated is the amount of alcohol that you have to produce. For your first alcoholic fermentation, you have to obtain a still wine with 11% of alcohol at the end. No matter the type of containers, you always have to obtain 11% of alcohol. And that's the only regulation, so that means the producer, they will be able to use any type of containers that they would like to then create the style of wine that they would like, and after create the style of champagne that they would like.
We're now going down the cave and taste some champagne.
That aging, in fact, will give you the final result to your champagne. Because, in fact, during the aging, what is happening is the sediments, they have just like in contact with the alcohol, they will break down, they will release more aromas. And so those will be the machines that we are using today. So
Oh,
those
these
machines
are the
named the gyro palettes. So basically, it's big metallic boxes that you start to load at the horizontal position, and then you will put it in the robotic arms that you have here. And so the robotic arms at the bottom, they will rotate. And so this just like perpendicular one at the origin is just like up, just like all the way up, and then it will go all the way down. And so the machine will replicate that quarter right, quarter left, up. And so the box will just like move all the way up until you will be at the perfect position, vertical position. And so once again, all the sediments behind the crown cap also.
okay.
But instead to wait 6 to 8 weeks, the machine can work day and night, so you only need to wait 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
Same result, no impact on the final taste. It's exactly the same thing that will come out of the machine or the manual way.
How to remove the sediments from the bottle.
So, first option, to remove the sediments. You are still brave and so you still work by hand. So that means you will need to find a very high skilled person to remove the crown cap at the perfect angle for the bottle, and then the pressure will push away the sediments. And then quickly after that, you have to put your thumb on top of the bottle to be sure that the pressure will not expel all the champagne after that and just the sediments.
Okay.
So of course, for the producer, too complicated. You have to just like find a very high-skilled person. You have to manage the perfect timing. If you open too late, too early, that would be too complicated for the producer. You will lose your production. If you are not quick enough to put your thumb on top of the bottle, you will just like expel a lot and a lot of champagne after. So what we decided to manage is the ice disgorgement that appeared between the two world wars. And so today, what we manage is to produce a tiny ice cube of champagne that will trap all the sediments on top of the bottle, and then you just have to let the machine expel the little ice cube and manage all the rest of the steps.
Smart.
You froze the
Yes,
sediment.
absolutely. So you have just like only 2 to 3 centimeters of the neck in the green tank. In the green tank, you have a very cold liquid, in fact, really looking like dry ice. And so you just have to wait 5 to 7 minutes. And 5 to 7 minutes later, you can take the bottle head up and you have your little ice cube on top. Then after, you take your bottle, you will put it here in the machine. So here you have a robotic arm that will catch the bottle, remove the crown cap, let the pressure naturally expel the ice cube. After, so by hand or with the machine, we still lose a little bit of champagne. So we have to fill the lack of champagne with still wine. And at the same time, we will decide of the final sugar addition to your champagne. So that's how you will end up with the brut, the extra brut, the demi-sec, the sec, or any of the sugar addition that you have in champagne. Then after that, the metal cap, the workage all the time 6 turns to be able to lock it for champagne. Then you take the bottle, you put it here, the machine will shake a little bit the bottle to integrate the top up that you have managed right here to your champagne. And then the machine will wash, dry the bottle, and as a producer, you will collect once again all your bottle at the end of the line and put everything back in metallic boxes. The aging was quite too short, and so the acidity didn't have time to soften enough. And so by adding a little bit of sugar, you will give just like intentionally a little bit more roundness also. And depending on the quantity of sugar that you will add, also you can change the aromatic profile and so have champagne that will be able to go all through the meal and with different type of dishes.
This one is more than almost 2 years? No.
No, it was the disgorgement happened on the 22 of February 2024.
Okay.
So you have to wait for 6 months after that.
Just recent. Oh, but this one's a little
you have just
almost new, almost ready.
Yes.
It's nice to be alone.
It's colder down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you can sit together if you would like facing the glass right here.
So the most awaited part. Start the tasting. Nice.
Can I go to the dressing now?
Yeah, I will show you the way. It was just the door when we exited the cinema facing us.
Yeah.
Alright, so for the first one, so that will be the Brut Héritage, in fact. So that's the non-vintage Brut to give you an idea of the style here at Louis Brochet. So it's the easy drinking everyday champagne. It's the blend that they have for this one. It represents what the family own for the plot. Also, so 70% Pinot Noir, 20% Chardonnay, and 10% Meunier.
So you swirl it a bit.
Smell.
You should have smelled the first nose.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Yeah, same.
Then
you smell just like first, you swirl, you smell again.
Yeah.
You just like, if you feel that like there is a little development in the aromas, you can swirl one more time.
All I can think of is drinking this.
Fruity, very fruity.
Yeah.
I get it. Why this is your everyday champagne.
Yes. In fact, after you will have your final sugar addition, and so the Brut is right here between 6 to 12. And after, so the next one that will be an extra Brut, so you will be between 0 to 6. Brut 0, that means only the natural sugar coming from the grapes, so we will only top up the bottle with still wine at the end of the process, and that's no sugar. And after you have the sweeter one also in the range.
Okay.
20% Chardonnay and 10% Meunier. We also have 3 years for the aging, and it's the same harvest, it's the same type of blend for the reserved wine. The only difference is really the sugar addition.
Yeah.
Less sugar for this time.
Exports where you lose a little bit the philosophy of who you are as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially for a family.
Yes, it's family production. Here it's in the family since 1881, so that's why they just like want to just like share what the founder of the estate, so the Boucher has created a long time ago. So. Right.
Wow. Expert in opening champagne. Bottle of champagne.
So for this one, you will have a vintage. So I will show you. Alright, so I will show you on the label. So, yeah.
Thank you. The label, yeah.
Yeah, so you see the two first one, you do not have any year mentioned, so nothing. And here at the bottom of the label, so you see millésime, so that's the French word for vintage.
Okay.
And so you have the year 2016. So that's means inside of this one, you only have the year 2016 compared to the two first one, where no year, so blend of different years. So non-vintage, vintage.
Harvested in 2016.
What's the extra signature?
Alain, it's because that's the name of this type of bottle that they give to the range. Alain, he was the father of the actual owners.
Okay.
And so when he passed away 7 years ago, 8 years ago now, they decided to create a special bottle for their father, in fact. So it's two plots. One is the Extra Noir. So we are in a part of the Champagne where they tend to produce quite a lot of Pinot Noir here in the villages around. So in fact, this one is 100% Pinot Noir. At the same time, so you see that is mentioned Blanc de Noir on the label. That means it's the white of the black. So it's a white champagne coming out of the black skin varieties. So when you see Blanc de Noir on the label, that could mean a couple of things. 100% Pinot Noir, 100% Meunier, or a blend of Pinot Noir and Meunier. So you will have to know if they have a back label to check the back label, but here they say it's 100% Pinot Noir. The other thing about this one is you also have just like a vintage, because you could see 2015 also. The other specificity is also oak age. So the very big oak barrels that you have seen to the fermenting room, they just like have spent a year in the very big oak barrels. Not big, just like intensity on the oak, because you had very, very big quantity of wine with a very tiny contact with the oak also. So it's a very subtle oak sensation. And at the same time, you have plot selection. So they only use 2 plots coming from the village where we are. And so it's a village selection due to all that. So it's only coming from the village of Écueil, so where we are located right now. So very complex, very rich, very full body. So for example, this one with red meat, it would be very good. Pasta with truffle, even better. Mushroomy risotto, also very, very good. Yeah.
So it also has Premier Cru under
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
This
so
is
it's
the
a little classification that we have here within the region.
village.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it again?
Écueil.
Écueil.
Écueil, yeah. So it's a classification just like about Premier Cru that we have within the region. In fact, when we have created the AOC in 1936, we wanted to organize the region at the same time. And so what happened is we wanted to have just like from the best villages to the worst villages on a certain way. And so what happened is we decided to go, for example, the Grand Cru will be the top one, the Premier Cru lesser quality, and after the traditional Cru even lesser quality. The thing is the committee, they say just like at the origin it was quite nice, but today it's not working really well, because no matter where you are located in the region, the job is always the same to be able to produce champagne. You have to go through the same steps. And most of the producers today, in fact, it's just like family production that have been established here since decades and decades.